Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So I have more examples of the continued implementation of blockchain technology around the world. I'm going to be going over a recent update in France with a CBDC cryptocurrency bond project or pilot program that they have rolled out with IBM. So I'm including Stellar in here as well, although it does not specifically reference Stellar. I am going to go over what it says about IBM. And I think that that's going to tie in very nicely with the partnership that they have with Stellar, just my opinion, not financial advice. And then also some more bullish news about Polygon. There's also some FUD related news about Polygon that I'm going to be going over just to clear everything up. And then there's two examples of major institutional adoption that I want to cover just in case you missed it. This is not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research. France trials CBDC blockchain for government bond deals. The global bond market is insane, and it's going to be opened up to blockchain tech and cryptocurrency in the very near future, in my opinion. The Bank of France, along with a group of France's largest financial market participants, executed the transactions using a system developed by US-based IBM, according to a statement from Securities Depository Euroclear. This is a 10-month pilot program. France's central bank has executed a series of bond transactions leveraging blockchain using its own digital currency. And this is a 10-month pilot program. The CBDC trial, reported earlier by the Financial Times, is one of the EU's largest to date, with France regarded as one of the highest profile Eurozone members to launch such an experiment. Sweden, whose Riksbank is also toying with digitizing its national currency, uses the e-krona. Earlier this year, the Bank of France published a request for proposals for central bank digital currencies experiment applications in a bid to help understand the risks and mechanisms of CBDCs. The bank also engaged in a number of experiments using a CBDC for the wholesale market and cross-border payments, as well as interbank settlements. So we know that they're working with IBM. We know that they're working on cross-border payments and interbank settlements. And we know the relationship that IBM has with Stellar. Although it does not specifically reference Stellar, I do think it's important to mention that when going over this particular story. Now, Polygon has more adoption globally. Polygon powers the Agri B2B platform Agri10X. Agri10X, one of the largest B2B e-commerce marketplaces in India, has announced that it is tied up with Polygon, the Ethereum layer 2 solution, to connect farmers in the agricultural sector in India with the buyers and other businesses all around the world. And then it says down here, our strengths combined with their expertise will help streamline the supply chain process and offer strong support to our expansion plans. Okay, so we're seeing just more adoption of the Polygon network, like we mentioned yesterday. Now, this was a Ray Dalio interview. You probably saw this a couple weeks ago. And, you know, he was talking about cryptocurrency and saying, well, if it's too successful, they're going to ban it. And, you know, the guy was, talking about different use cases. And he was like, well, China and India are getting rid of it. Okay, India was just announced to be, I think, the #1 country globally for the amount of crypto users that they have within their country. Now, obviously, they have a higher population than most countries. So I don't believe it was per capita. I believe it was just total number of crypto users. But if you go look at any adoption by country for cryptocurrency, India is going to be at the top of the list. So I don't know what he's talking about. And I don't know how people take people like this serious anymore. Either he's lying or he can't do basic research. So, India is adopting cryptocurrency as fast as any country, if not faster. All right. Now, on to the FUD-related news about Polygon. Arbitrage bot spam attack on the Polygon network generated $6,800 per day. So this was a 4-month arbitrage bot spam attack on the Polygon network to basically, do tons of transactions, and through the way that this bot spam worked, they were able to get $6,800 per day from the Polygon network. Now, I take everything, and I mean everything, that I hear of anything like this, a hack, networks going down, a bot spam attack. I take everything that I hear about this with a serious grain of salt, because I have done massive research in the past on hacks and things that we heard in the news about this and that and the other. And I have found a lot of very interesting information when it comes to that. So I take everything I see here with a grain of salt, but I did want to share this with you because I did 2 videos on Polygon yesterday. I'm very bullish on Polygon. This does not change anything for me because this doesn't change anything for the corporations that are adopting Polygon. If it did, they wouldn't be adopting Polygon. So if Ernst & Young feels confident enough to adopt the Polygon network to handle transactions for enterprise clients, then I'm buying and I'm not selling at all, period. So, I just want to lay this out there. It blows me away how retail has this mindset that they have somehow outsmarted the billionaire class. Like, as mass adoption is happening and tons of big money is coming in, retail is planning on getting out. So retail just believes that they have outsmarted the big money. And, I had comments yesterday, Polygon's trash and this and that and the other. And guys, like if I get something wrong, please let me know. For example, with AMP a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, when I did the video about the e-commerce platforms, one of the gentlemen, he typed below, he said, this is a little bit misleading because they're not the top e-commerce companies, even though they are the top e-commerce platforms, meaning that they don't have more revenue than an Amazon, for example. And I was like, that's a really good point. And I meant to mention that in the video. They are number 1 and number 3 based on the amount of websites that they're on. That's how they kind of view market share when they're looking at e-commerce platforms. E-commerce platforms and e-commerce companies, kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. There is some nuance there because they don't sell more, they don't have more business, more revenue than Amazon, but they are on exponentially more websites. And that's how they really look at market share when they're talking about e-commerce platforms specifically. Okay, so I wanted to make that correction, but that was a perfect example of a time where, maybe I misrepresented something or I didn't clearly state something enough. And somebody says something below, I'm like, hey, you're absolutely right. I'll make sure and correct that moving forward. But for people that just want to come and just, oh, this is trash, I'm done. I'm done. I'm deleting I'm done with you. Go to a different channel. I'm done with stupid people. When I transitioned into the new world, I said, you know what? I'm not dealing with stupid people anymore. There's too many of them and I don't have the time. So I'm just done with stupid people. If you think that somehow that corporations that have billions of dollars and that have tons of clients, them adopting a new technology, and you're saying that technology is trash, well, who are you to say that? That's the thing. Retail's opinion doesn't really matter. Okay, my opinion doesn't really matter. I'm just following the big money. All right, this whole mindset that retail has, that they have somehow outsmarted the big money, is the most arrogant, ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And that might seem hypocritical coming from me because I might come off as being pretty arrogant, but I'm just following the big money, right? That's my level of confidence, is I'm doing what they're doing. I mean, I'm not trying to like outsmart them. And that's what retail's trying to do. They're trying to time the market and get out as soon as the big money's coming in, right? Big cryptocurrency platforms that are backed by the big VC firms, they're coming out and say, oh no, it's trash, it's trash. No, you're just stupid, period. All right, so I'm done with stupid people. So sorry to go on a rant about that. Let me get back to the video here. So a deeper dive into the transactions and addresses interacting on the network revealed that around 30% of the network transaction volume was coming from 2 contracts which have been determined to be arbitrage bots. Okay, so it says around 30% of the network transaction volume. And it says up here, the transaction volume, it could have affected inflated transaction volume by as much as 90%, but then it says a deeper dive shows around 30%. So we're talking about transactions on the network. The same address can be transacting numerous different times, or the same multiple different addresses, right? So from what this looks like, it looks like these were all coming from a couple different addresses. So I don't think that this would affect the amount of daily active users that Polygon is having. It might affect the amount of daily active transactions, but daily active users are new addresses coming on the platform. That's the way that I read this, okay? And even if, right, you subtract 30% of, let's just say that this is daily active users as opposed to just transactions, even though they specifically say transactions. Let's just say that you just subtract 30% of the overall daily active users from Polygon's growth. They're still growing at a rapid pace and, tit for tat with Ethereum. and the big money is still adopting them. So I don't care, and I take everything that I hear about stuff like this with a grain of salt, and I'm consistent on this, because if you go back and you look on the Solana tapes that I did, I was coming out and saying, guys, like, you know, let this go, man. Like, you don't need to be getting out of your Solana position, not financial advice, just because their network went down for a day. And you should, you know, you should look at everything, you know, through a magnifying glass whenever you hear of something like this, and you shouldn't just take everything at face value. So just going to put that out there. Interactive Brokers launches crypto trading platform, crypto trading in US for 4 tokens. In a Monday announcement, Interactive Brokers said its registered investment advisors would be able to trade and custody Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin for clients using the Paxos Trust Company. So Interactive Brokers is a serious place, as a serious company in the space, and more institutional adoption and mainstreaming cryptocurrency that much more. And they'll even allow you to custody Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. So it's just continuing to happen every day. Mass Mutual Bitcoin investment has tripled in dollar value. The reason I wanted to go over this, even though this was a prior investment and now they're just reporting on the returns that they had, the Massachusetts-based company, insurance company, $100 million Bitcoin purchase in December 2020 is now worth more than 300 million. And, you know, I think that the insurance companies, the big insurance companies all around the world, I think that they're all going to be getting into Bitcoin. And just because of the nature of the services that they provide and the level of uncertainty in that market year to year, they're going to want a level of assurance and security to ensure that whatever they're holding in assets, however much cash, how many stocks, whatever it is that they're holding, is going to maintain its value and outrun inflation. So I think we're just going to see this continue. This is a great use case for other large insurance companies to take on, even though, again, I think that all this has been worked out. All the large corporations have already decided when they're going to be putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, when they're going to be accepting cryptocurrency. And it's just a matter of us waiting for these announcements to come out like we continually see day after day. So this is all I got. Thank you, everyone who's liked, shared, and subscribed. Nothing that I said was financial advice. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments section below. And thank you, everyone who's liked, shared, and subscribed. Take care. I will see you in the next video.